The South Bronx, the borough that gave birth to hip-hop.
There's a militarized police department that is ready to attack the people. Young people have taken the streets, they've shut down the highway.
There's an understanding that when the planet wins, the people win too.
Don't stop. You don't stop. You don't stop. Amor, justicia, hip hop, revoluciones.
Peace, y'all. This is Rod Sauce for Rebel Diaz reporting for And You Don't Stop. We in the Bronx right now in front of Sabrosura restaurant. But right now inside, State Senator Reverend Ruben Diaz Sr. and presidential candidate Ted Cruz are meeting with a bunch of Bronx ministers. We went in there and asked some questions that the people might want to know. Mr. Diaz, Senador Diaz, why are you receiving an anti-immigrant in the Bronx, a community of immigrants? Why are you receiving an anti-immigrant in the community of immigrants? Why are you receiving an anti-immigrant?
Why are you want to be so rude and so brusco?
I'm asking you a question. Answer it.
Who invited you here?
I live in the Bronx. I live in Hunts Point. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Why are you so mad? Face me. Talk to me. I live in Hunts Point. You represent the Bronx? Talk to me. Talk to me. Why do you bring a guy that doesn't support climate change, that says climate change doesn't exist when we're on the front lines of environmental racism?
Stop.
Answer the question.
Get out of here, please.
Don't put your hands on me. And we're talking about environmental racism. Why do you bring a candidate that says that climate change is not existing?
Let me get the minister here, please. Jose, please, let me alone, please.
You talk about a community of immigrants. Why are you bringing someone with the strongest anti-immigrant stance? Answer the question. I have a right. I'm not.
Jose.
Rubén, respóndeme. Yo soy del Bronx. Yo tengo el derecho a saber. Why are you bringing someone who's anti-immigrant into an immigrant community? Simple question. Answer it.
Bring me the minister, please.
Does climate change exist? According to Ted Cruz, it doesn't. That's all you can say is bring the ministers?
All the minister in.
That's all you can say.
All the minister in, please. All the minister in, please. Come inside.
So that's your message to the people of the Bronx? That's your message to the people of the Bronx?
Go inside. All the ministers.
What do you say to the communities? Are you bringing them in because the community is being gentrified? Are you selling out the land of the Bronx along with your son?
Please, all the ministers, come inside.
I'm talking, you can't even look at me?
Minister, please come inside.
I'm asking you a simple question.
All the ministers, please come.
So as you can see, Ruben Diaz Sr., the senator, has no response. All he could say is all the ministers. All he could say is, pushing it. He's confused. He doesn't know what to do when he's confronted with real questions. He's here supporting Ted Cruz, who's got one of the most anti-immigrant policies in an immigrant community. We're just asking him, how does this make any sense to the residents of the South Bronx, of the Bronx, a historically immigrant community? We're here, Sabrosura, where all the workers are immigrants, and he's bringing in Ted Cruz, who's one of the most anti-immigrant people here. So this is, we're trying to expose what's going on. You have State Senator Ruben Diaz Sr. bringing in Ted Cruz into a community which has historically faced environmental racism, has historically faced, attacks on immigrants, one of the largest incarceration rates, a community that's being gentrified. What are their interests in being in our community? What are their interests in being in the South Bronx? They have no answers. When we confront these politicians with questions, they don't have answers when they're caught off guard. We need journalists that are going to ask questions, that are demanding questions that the people are asking. Senator Cruz, why do you come to the Bronx, an immigrant community with such an anti-immigrant stance? Why are you here in the Bronx if you're such an anti-immigrant? Talk to me.
We're a country of immigrants, sir.
Why are you so anti-immigrant? Climate change exists, sir. Why do you say climate change doesn't exist? We're clear that the press is coming out to cover these programs and events is not asking the questions that the people want to know. There's a silence and there's complicity going on here in which all of them stay silent and kind of just go along. We saw the same thing when we were reporting from Ferguson, and we see the same thing here. The CNNs, the Fox Newses, and the mainstream media is not challenging, these politicians with the questions that need to be asked.
Press is in the front. There's no press.
Credential press has a chance to answer questions at the back of the room.
This is Bronx residents, though.
Community residents.
Come to the Bronx. The Bronx got the right to film you. We wanted to know, why is an anti-immigrant presidential candidate coming into an immigrant community? Why is a candidate who has gone on record to say climate change doesn't exist coming into a community that's had environmental racism historically abused the community? We were shut down and kicked out because they don't want to hear these questions.
We don't want you in the Bronx, Ted Cruz. It's an immigrant community. Climate change exists.
Please answer that question.
Climate change doesn't exist.
Just answer us the question. We are at the forefront of climate change in this community. You deny climate change. Please answer.
Answer your question.
We can quiet down if you answer. Please answer.
Sorry.
No, I'm asking you a question, and I'm being kicked out. I want you to answer the question. Do you believe in climate change? Yes or no?
Do you believe in climate change? Who are you? Are you police? Are you the police? Are you Secret Service?
I'm asking you to leave.
Identify yourself. Identify yourself. Identify yourself. Who are you?
Why are you
Because you're putting hands on me. You're putting hands on me. Get your hands off me. Are you a police officer? Are you Secret Service? Identify yourself before you touch me. I was asking you a question. I'm a journalist. I'm a
You have the right
journalist.
to ask the question. Where's your press pass?
I'll give it to you right now. Yep. We asked you a question. There's no reason you just assaulted me.
Put your hands on me.
You assaulted me on camera. You just assaulted me. You get your hands off me now. But you just assaulted me. Okay. Who are you? Who are you? Identify yourself. Okay, we'll leave. We can leave. We're leaving. That's it. We out.
Questions about climate change and about if they don't want to hear the questions.
This is an immigrant community, Ted Cruz.
It's an immigrant community.
This is an immigrant community. And for all y'all the journalists that ain't asking questions, ashamed of yourselves. We're in the South Bronx, the poorest congressional district in the United States, and you guys are just standing here. Ask questions. Do your job.
Right here that want to believe in the show. Ted Cruz has no business being in the Bronx. This is an immigrant community. We deal with climate change every single day. And he wants to say that it doesn't exist. We're one of the poorest congressional districts in the country. And to receive this right-wing bigot is an insult to the whole community. I'm leaving. We're leaving. I'm leaving. Él lo sabe. My name is Rob Stars from Rebel Diaz.
What's your name?
I'm with the people. My name is Rob Stars from the hip hop group Rebel Diaz. I represent the Hunts Point in the South Bronx, where Ted Cruz is not welcome in the Bronx. Mira, esta es una comunidad inmigrante y que venga Ted Cruz, que es un racista, que representa la supremacía blanca en nuestro barrio, no lo vamos a permitir. Así de simple. Nosotros lidiamos todos los días con lo que es el abuso del ambiente, para que él diga que no existe, no vamos a aceptar de
Pero ¿por qué fue importante para ti?
Fue importante porque yo soy del Bronx, yo represento a los pobres, no represento a los ricos y las corporaciones. I'm with Rebel Diaz. Diaz.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's not welcome in the South Bronx. Ted Cruz is an anti-immigrant. He denies climate change. We're at the forefront here in the South Bronx of struggling against climate change. We can't have him here. We understand that Diaz welcomes him because Diaz is out to sell out the Bronx. For years, he's not been on the side of Latino, of black people, of poor people. That's the reason why we're here.
What's your name?
Rebel Diaz.
Because I'm a South Bronx resident.
Listen, it's not about language, it's about class. Ted Cruz represents corporations. Ted Cruz represents, anti-Muslim rhetoric that is not welcome here in the Bronx. He just went on record. He goes on record saying he wants to police Muslim communities. He goes on record saying climate change doesn't even exist. Talk to the Bronx, we in the hood. This is where poor people at. This dude is a right-wing bigot, and he's not welcome here. It's that simple. If I'm eating in a restaurant and the presidential candidate rolls in, I'm going to speak up because it is a right. I have a right to speak up for my community, for poor people. Listen, you want to talk about what the Bronx needs? We need housing, okay? We need education. We need after-school centers. You know what I'm saying? We need people that are actually going to represent our community. You want to come here and do a media circus? We're going to step up and say something. It's that simple.